Hey, yogis, thank you for being here. The muscle of the week is your serratus anterior. I'm going to show it to you. Phil, you've seen this already. Oh, if I can find it here, I'll show it to you. Here it is. Okay. So this is an interesting muscle because as you can see, it looks like fingers, but it's one muscle. But they call it serratus anterior because it looks like it's serrated. And the muscle hugs your ribs, originating in the front part of your body. That's why it's called serratus anterior. Anterior means front. And then it goes around the sides and attaches to your spine. And it's a major trunk muscle, major core muscle, responsible for doing all kinds of things. Responsible for your posture, when you move twist your body, and when you do what we're going to be doing today, cat bows. So I wanted you to see this so you can know what you're feeling when you feel those muscles work. And so begin sitting nice and tall. And think about these muscles as you breathe, because these muscles, as you saw, they hug your rib cage. And when you inhale deeply, your rib cage expands with the help of those muscles. Okay, so close your eyes, sit up tall, and start focusing on the breath. Get a rhythm to your breath. And then slow down and deepen your breathing. Big, long, full inhales and exhales through your nose. And as you inhale and you feel your rib cage expand, think about those muscles, the serratus anterior muscles, going all the way to the back of your body. So you can feel your back rise with each breath, as well as your belly. Often when we do deep breathing, we don't focus on the back of our lungs. And if this is the first time today you've taken a moment to do your deep breathing, that's okay, but it's not optimal. We should be doing this several times a day. But once is better than none. Do a couple more at your own pace. Big, full, deep, focusing on your entire torso, your back, your belly inflating. And then please, let's take a deep breath together and Om in. Om. Om Balu Satguru Bhagavan Ki. The divine is the inner teacher. All right. We're going to start by stretching our necks. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, turn your head to the right. Keep your shoulder parallel with the ground. Keep chin parallel with the ground and your shoulders facing forward as you continue to do your deep breathing. And right now, you're feeling the back left of your neck, and that is your upper trapezius, which goes from your back all the way up to the base of your skull, and your levator scapula, which goes from about your shoulder up to the skull. Inhale. Exhale, bring your chin slightly forward of your shoulder and then tuck your chin down and look down to a space that's above and to the left of your, or above and to the right of your knee. And that further enhances that stretch in that upper neck region. This is important for your posture. Often tight neck muscles in the back are the problem with poor upper body posture. Inhale. Exhale as you drag your chin to the center of your chest and pause here. Inhale as you drag your chin over to the left and pause here right in front of your shoulder, looking at a space to the left and above your knee. And then inhale as you lift your chin parallel to the ground. Turn your chin further to the left. Keep your shoulders forward. And take a couple of deep breaths here. And appreciating the stretch to the back right of your neck. Inhale. Exhale, head comes all the way back forward and to center. Let's change the cross of our legs. Inhale. Exhale, let your right ear drop to your right shoulder so your face is forward. Take your right hand on the left side of the head. Just place it there for weight. And then take your left hand and let it float out away from your body. Push your fingertips away and feel how that enhances that stretch. So now we're getting to the upper deltoids. Release your hand, bring the head back to center, take a deep breath here, and then exhale, left ear, left shoulder to left ear, left hand to the side of the head, keeping your face forward. And then the right hand will float out to the side and push the fingertips away. And release. Bring your head back upright. And then take your shoulders and bring them up to your ears. And then roll them way back, opening your chest, and then down. And then bring them forward and then up to your ears, and then way back and down. And once more forward, up to your ears, way back and down. And then extend your legs long in front of you. Have a strap handy. And come into your Dandasana staff pose. So in Dandasana, you want your pelvis to be tilted forward, meaning there's an arch in your low back. And then as you sit here with your knees up and your feet up, once again, take your shoulders forward, up to the ears, and then back, and then down, and keep them there with your chest open, just like that. And then coming from your hip crease, lean your top of your body forward. Doesn't have to come forward much, just a little bit to feel the stretch, but you want to keep tilting your pelvis forward. So you want to keep that arch in your low back. It's not a big arch, but it's there versus the opposite where you collapse the back in the opposite direction. And then come back upright. Inhale, exhale, come forward again. Keep the feet up, knees up, and keep your legs active. And then come back up again. And then grab your strap if you have one. Wrap it around your feet. Hold each tail in each hand. And then bring your chest forward, put your shoulders down. Once again, tilt the pelvis forward. And then use the strap as leverage to come forward. And maybe you can come a little bit more this time since you have something to leverage the pull. Only go as far as your back allows. Don't let the back collapse, and don't let your shoulders creep up to the ears. Keep the shoulders down and back. And then just relax here. It's just a warm up, so we don't need to do too much. But you're feeling your hamstrings, hopefully, but you also hopefully feel your lower back stretch here. And that stretch will happen if you keep tilting your pelvis forward. If you let your lower back collapse by tilting your pelvis the opposite direction, you won't get that stretch. And then just relax and breathe. Okay, slowly come back to center. Take the strap and put it on the right foot. And then bend the left knee. Bring the left foot to the inside of the right leg. And if your knee bothers you hanging out in air like that, or if it doesn't get down to the mat, you can prop it up with a block to help support it. We want to keep our knees happy. So before you do anything else, tilt the pelvis forward again so that you have the arch in the low back, a subtle one, but it's there. Turn your body to the right, and then grab your strap in your hands and gently coax your chest down toward your leg. You don't have to come very far here. The important thing is to keep your spine long. So thinking about your tailbone going out and back, the crown of your head coming forward and up. Don't lock your knee, but your leg is straight. And if you can come down far enough, you want to grab hold of your foot, that's fine, as long as you don't sacrifice your spine. And then keep the shoulders down away from the ears. And then just relax and breathe. One more breath here. And then slowly rise up. Take the strap aside for a moment. And then bring your left knee up into your chest. Keep the right foot flexed and the right knee pointing up. Take your right arm and hug the knee in, and then bring your chest up and the crown of your head up. Inhale your left arm forward. Exhale, twist to the left. Now this is a neutral spine here, so twisting is good for neutralizing the spine. And think about, as you twist, about your serratus anterior muscles. So that right rib cage and the muscles that are surrounding it are moving to the left side of your body. So use those muscles to twist. Once you relax here, if you would like to get your elbow to the outside of the leg, you can do that to enhance the twist. Keep your right foot flexed and the right knee up. And keep thinking about your muscles, your torso muscles in this twist. One more breath here. Exhale, bring your head, shoulders, chest forward, and then bring your legs back forward. Reset the spine in Dandasana staff pose. Take the strap onto both feet again. And with each end of the tail in each hand, bring your shoulders down, chest forward, tilt your pelvis forward, and come forward from your hip crease. You don't have to come very far to feel this, but you want to come far enough so you can feel the stretch in your low back, keeping the pelvis tilted forward. Head in line with the spine, so don't allow your chin to drop. Keep the shoulders down from the ears. Just relax your head and your neck. They're not involved in this at all. Okay, slowly come back upright. The strap goes on the left foot. Right knee bends. Right foot comes into the inside of the left thigh. And again, if your knee bothers you hanging out, you can place something underneath of it to support it. Now, once you get here, tilt the pelvis forward again, get the nice long spine again, turn your body slightly to the left, and then grab your tails of the strap and bring your chest forward down towards your knee. Keep your foot pointed up and keep a micro bend in the knee. Don't let the knee lock out here. And then relax, being mindful of your shoulders. Keep your chest open and forward. Keep your head in line with the spine. And if you feel like you want to take one hand or both onto the foot to further enhance the stretch, go ahead and do so without sacrificing the spine. This is really big on the hamstrings. So early in our practice today, your hamstrings aren't very warmed up yet. So just take your time with this. And then slowly come up, remove the strap, bring your right knee into the chest. Left arm hugs right knee in. Shift your chest forward and up. Right hand forward, inhale. Exhale, twist to the right and plant your right hand behind you. Just prop up your spine vertically as you twist. And keep thinking about those finger-like muscles on your ribs, your left ribs moving over to the right side of your body. You want to take the elbow to the outside of the leg. It's totally up to you. One more breath in. And exhale as you turn your body back forward. Extend both legs again, and then just reset the spine briefly in your Dandasana staff pose. Chest open, shoulders down, pelvis tilted forward, crown of your head being pulled up to the ceiling. And a couple of deep breaths here. All right, if you're sitting on a bolster, hop off and bend your knees. Now do what you can here. This is your practice. I want to make sure you need to do what you feel like you want to do and makes you feel good. Yoga is supposed to make you feel good. So give this a shot if you would like. It's going to be the flower pose. We're going to take one leg and hook our arm underneath that leg. And then we're going to take the other leg and hook the opposite arm underneath of it. And then lean back onto your center of gravity. Maybe bring your feet together. They don't have to be together, but you can bring it together. And this is the flower pose. So you're balancing as you would do in a boat pose, which we're going to do in a moment. If this doesn't work for you, just hold on to your feet. You don't have to have your arm all the way underneath your legs. You can just hold your feet like so. Keep the shoulders down, push the chest forward, engage your abdominal muscles here. This is core work. Now, slowly unthread your arms to the outside of your legs and then come into your boat pose. You can let go if you like, or you can hold on to the backs of your thighs. It's totally up to you. You can straighten your legs or keep your knees bent, totally up to you. Just try to keep your spine long, keep your head in line with the spine, keep your shoulders down from the ears, and breathe. Good. Okay, slowly feet come down. Curl your spine as you hug your knees into your chest. Push the spine backwards in a C shape. And now take your fingers behind you, pointing toward your feet. Plant your feet, and we're going to come into a reverse table. So push into your feet, push into your hands, and shift your bottom towards your heels. Then lift your hips up to the ceiling, open your chest, and push your tailbone toward your knees. This is a posterior pelvic tilt. So no arch in your back, the opposite here. Push the tailbone toward the knees. Good, and then come slowly back down. And come onto one side or the other so we can come into our table position, patting the knees accordingly. Okay, so with our cat-cow, we're going to be tilting the pelvis from one extreme to the other with a flat back inhale. Exhale, come into your cat back. So tuck your toes here, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, push the back up to the ceiling. So this is your posterior pelvic tilt. And then inhale very slowly through your nose as you come into your cow, dropping your belly down, tilting your pelvis forward, and then push the shoulders to the back of your mat. And then exhale as you slowly bring your hips all the way back down toward your heels. Inhale very slowly as you come back up to your table. Exhale again very slowly as you bring your bottom towards your heels, lubricating all of our joints, greasing the hinges, I call it. And then inhale very slowly back to table. So I'm going to go sideways for a moment in table position to make sure that you know what I'm talking about when I say move your shoulders back. So the tendency here, you see where my shoulders are? I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's the tendency to bring your shoulders way up towards your ears. Move your shoulders back away from your ears. And the way you do that is to actually squeeze your forearms so that the eye of the elbow is coming forward. And if you do that, you feel your shoulders automatically go back to the back side of your body. Can you feel that? That's what you want to feel when you're in your table. That's what you want to feel when you're in your downward dog. That's what you want to feel when you're in your puppy pose. So start with a flat back. Inhale. Exhale, push into your cat back. So now when you're going into your cat back, your shoulders do creep up. Allow them to do that. Open the spine, tuck the toes, tuck the chin. Inhale into your cow very slowly through your nose. Reverse the tilt of your pelvis, untuck your toes, untuck everything, and now push the shoulders to the back as you arch your back, tilting your pelvis forward. And then come back to neutral table without letting your shoulders creep up to your ears. Good. All right, the serratus anterior muscles on the rib cage. Think about those. We're going to do some cat bows. Now, be careful because this is could be a lot of work on the shoulders. So do what you can do. This is your practice. I'm going to go sideways just to show you that you don't want your elbows going out. You're just going to shift your chest forward. Just shift it forward. And maybe you don't even bow down. Maybe you just shift your chest forward, because that in itself is work. But if you want to bow down, keep your elbows hugging your sides and then come back up. And you maybe only bow down 1 inch or more. It doesn't matter, whatever you feel. Yeah, I don't want you hurting your shoulders by doing this. So do what you can, because this is great upper body work. It's also good for your serratus anterior muscles to do this. Inhale. Exhale, shift your weight forward. Maybe come down a little bit, maybe not. Maybe come down a lot, maybe not, and then come back up and then neutral table. So if you do come down and you bow, you want to make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up to your ears. Keep the shoulders back. I can't emphasize that more because that's how you're going to protect them. Come forward, push the shoulders back, maybe then bow or not, and then back up, neutral table. Okay, one more time. Inhale. Exhale, shift the weight forward, push the shoulders back, bring your chest down into your back, then come all the way back up, sit back slowly toward your heels. In child pose briefly. Inhale back to table. And from here, you're going to keep on coming forward. This time, we're going to come into upward facing dog. We're not going to bow down. This time, we're going to push the chest between the forearms. And you can keep your knees on the mat. Push the shoulders back and down. Feel your shoulder blade points come together down your back, and you're opening up your chest. And then push back to table. And then go all the way back towards your heels into a brief child pose. Come back into table. Okay. Shift your chest forward, do your cat bow. Come back up to table, and this time shift your chest forward into your upward facing dog. Shoulders down, chest open. Back to table, and then all the way back to your heels with your bottom. One more time. Inhale slowly up to table. Push the shoulders back. Do your cat bow. Come back up to table. And then shift the chest forward, bringing your into your upward facing dog. Back to table. And then come all the way down onto your bellies. Bring your hands wide in a Y shape on your mat. Push your pelvis into the mat and push your thighs into the mat. And then push, if you can, push the tops of your feet into the mat. Roll your thighs inwards slightly so you're not clenching your butt. Just you think about the outer glutes working here, not the middle of your bottom. And then we're going to keep the bottom half of our body down, just like it is, and we're going to lift the top half of our body into a flying carpet. Now, when you're up here, you're using those serratus anterior muscles, as well as others in your back, but think about those finger-like muscles on your rib cage, attaching to your spine, lifting your body up, keep your shoulders down from the ears, breathe, and then come all the way back down. Rest your head down for one moment. This is very, very good for your back muscles. One more breath here. And then come back up again into your flying carpet. Push the pelvis into the mat, push the thighs into the mat so that you're stabilizing the bottom half of your body and using your muscles, your back muscles to lift. Try to keep the shoulders down from the ears, keep your neck relaxed and long. And then come on back down. Pause. And then once, final time, come on up with the upper half of your body. Push into your thighs, roll your thighs inward, push your pelvis into the mat, keep your neck long, breathe. Think about those back muscles working, not your shoulders, but your back. And then come all the way back down. Fold your arms in front of you and come into crocodile pose. Resting your head for just a moment. Okay, please bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push the table. Tuck your toes and then push up to downward facing dog. And think about the principles of pushing your shoulders down, your back, away from your ears, forearms toward each other so that your shoulders, your deltoids, the top part of your arms roll outward. Spine is nice and long. You have a neutral pelvic tilt here. Now, a lot of times I'll say, try to put an arch in your lower back. That's not really what I want you to do, but if you think it, then you'll get your neutral pelvis because the tendency is to go opposite and tuck the tailbone in downward dog. And that's not what you want. You want your nice neutral lumbar curve in your lower back. And then slowly walk up to your hands. And then slowly rise up. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And Tadasana, active rest. So now realign your spine. Think about the straightness of your spine as if you were lying on the mat. Your chin is parallel to the ground. Head's right on top of the shoulders, chest open, shoulders down, thighs rolled in slightly, belly in. Okay, please get your blocks handy. So that they're within reach. So I'm going to give you a choice to use your blocks or not. And you're going to have your feet in between the blocks here. Back to Tadasana. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring your palms together. Inhale, push up with your fingertips. Exhale, crescent right. And as you do so, think about bringing your left shoulder back. Maybe look up underneath your arm. Breathe. Inhale back to center. Separate your palms. Exhale, coming into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Posterior pelvic tilt here means your tailbone's going down. No arch in your low back here. And if your shoulders bother you, you can bring your arms in front instead of beside your ears. Couple of breaths here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands come on down to the mat or blocks on either side of your feet. Inhale here. Exhale, step your right foot back into a high lunge. Think about leveling your sacrum so that your hip points are on the same plane. Lift your right quadricep. So tighten up those right leg muscles. Your left knee's right over the ankle. Think about a nice long line from the crown of your head to your heel. Now, if you find yourself hunching your back to get to this position, then you need to raise up to front end on blocks. And even if your blocks are on low and you're still hunching your back, you can raise your blocks up even higher. So just to get a nice long spine here. Put weight into your right hand and then twist open to the left. Inhale. Exhale, hand comes down, mat or blocks. Step back to plank with or without blocks. Take a deep breath here and then come into your upward facing dog. Knees can come down or not. Inhale. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog with or without blocks. Inhale, kick your right leg up behind you. Exhale, swing it up between the hands or pick it up and move it there. And then step your left foot up. And then slowly rise up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Inhale up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push up with your fingertips. Exhale, crescent left. Right shoulder comes back. Pause for a couple breaths. Inhale back to center. Separate your palms. Exhale into your chair pose, tailbone down. Look down, make sure you can see the tops of your toenails. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down beside your feet on blocks or on the mat. Inhale. Exhale, left foot steps back to high lunge. Pause in this high lunge, align your hips, align your pelvis so it's nice and level. Right knee above the ankle. Long line from the crown of your head to your back toes, back heel. Put weight into the left hand and twist open to the right. Inhale. Exhale, hand comes down. Step your foot back to plank, full plank. Inhale, shift your body forward. Knees can come down or not into upward facing dog. Inhale, tuck toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, swing it up between the hands. Inhale, exhale, step up. And then slowly rise up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And then pause into Tadasana. Okay, one-legged balance. You can move next to a wall if you like. There's no cheating in yoga, so do whatever it takes to help you to balance, because it's better to do something to help you balance than not to balance at all. We're going to be starting with the flamingo pose, and if you want to take it into dancer pose, you can. So the flamingo pose, put weight in whatever leg you're going to start in. You're going to take your ankle, and this is the Hyla Weaver move. Take your foot front so that you can grab your ankle and then bring it behind you and bring the heel into your bottom. And this part is the flamingo. So when you do this, try to keep your thighs together, shift your hips forward so that you can really feel the stretch in your quadriceps and in your calf muscles. Now from here, if you want to take it into dancer, you don't have to, but if you want to, I like to take my hand to the inside of the foot, if you can see. So some people do the dancer pose, keeping hold of the right outside, but it opens your chest more if you can creep your hand to the inside of that foot. It opens your shoulder and your chest more, and then find your focal point so that you can come into your dancer pose. Kick the foot into your hand. And then whenever you're ready, you can release that. Come out. and switch sides. Take your time, find your focal point. Start with your flamingo and maybe end with the flamingo. Push the pelvis forward, your hips forward. Try to keep your legs together if you're going to do your flamingo pose so that you get the maximum stretch here. And then if you want to come into your dancer, move the hand to the inside of your foot. If that works for you, you can keep it on the outside. And then come into your dancer pose. When you've had enough, come out of it. And come back to your mat in Tadasana. Pause a couple of breaths here. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, come into your chair pose. From here, you're going to swing your arms down toward the mat, bending your knees, and then swing your arms behind you, keeping your knees bent with your palms facing each other, reaching up toward the ceiling behind you. And then you're going to swing your arms back down toward your feet, and then swing the arms in front. Slowly come back up. Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale. Exhale, come into chair pose. So we'll do this slowly so we don't get too dizzy. Inhale. Exhale, bring your belly down toward your thighs. Hands come forward, swing them down toward your feet. Reach up behind you. Push the fingertips up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together by bringing your arms toward each other behind you. And then swing the arms back down. Slowly come back up. Inhale. Urdhva Hastasana. One more time. Exhale, come into chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, swing the arms down and up behind you. Push the fingertips up. Feel your shoulder blades come together. Try to bring your hands together. And then very slowly, arms come down, back to the front. Slowly up, inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Pause in Tadasana. Drink all that in, reestablish the length in your spine. Make sure your head's right on top of your shoulders, that you're not jutting your chin forward. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bend your knees. Forward fold all the way down. Inhale. Exhale, right foot steps back. Plant your right heel. And then bring your body up into Warrior One. Think about weight in both feet. Think about your right hip coming forward and your tailbone's going down. So this pose is more of a posterior pelvic tilt where you're moving your tailbone. You're not arching your lower back. You're moving your tailbone toward the back of the mat. And then open your chest wide. Maybe lean back, look up if you have balance. Okay, pivot onto your back toes. Take a deep breath. Exhale, hands come down to blocks or mat. Inhale, exhale, step back to plank. Bring your knees down to the mat. Then we're going to do a little cat bow forward. And then come all the way down to the mat and then push up into your cobra pose. And in cobra pose, your hands are, your elbows by your sides, hands underneath the shoulders. We're not going to stay here very long. Push back the table, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, swing it up between your hands. Inhale. Exhale, step the left foot up and slowly rise up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale. Exhale, left foot steps back. Plant the left heel. Come on up to warrior one. Think about weighting the both feet equally. If you have trouble keeping the back outside edge of the foot down, you need to shorten your stance. Tailbone down. Take the arch out of your lower back. Open the chest. Look up. Stabilize the front knee. Pivot onto your back toes. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come down to the mat. Step back to plank. Knees come down. Do a little cat bow. And then come all the way down. However you need to get down there. So hands underneath your shoulders and push up the cobra. Elbows locked in by your sides. Push to table. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, swing it up between the hands. Inhale. Exhale, step up. Inhale, slowly rise up. Reach up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold all the way down. Inhale. Exhale, step both feet back to your downward facing dog. Pause for a breath or two here. Squeeze the forearms toward each other. Move that eye of the elbow forward and up. Upper shoulders roll out. Fingers spread wide, the middle fingers pointing forward. Knees come down to the mat and sit back into your child pose. Rest your forehead on something for a few breaths here. And then please slowly push up and come on to your backs. Bend your knees and have your feet about a hand length or a hand and a half length from your bottom. Keep your legs parallel to each other, feet pointing forward, and ground your feet into the mat. Flatten your back onto the mat and then bend your elbows and have your fingers point up to the ceiling, palms facing each other. Start with a neutral spine here, and then you're going to push into your feet, lift into your bridge, and you're going to start with your bridge with an arch in your lower back with an anterior pelvic tilt. And then you're going to come onto your tippy toes and then see if you can push your pelvis in the opposite direction so that you're pushing your tailbone toward the bottom of your mat and taking the arch out of your back. And then come all the way down slowly. Bringing your heels back down, rolling your spine back down. Bring your arms down. Okay, so we'll do that again, but just for one moment, just practice with a pelvic tilt. Find your neutral pelvis here, which is regular lumbar, nice gentle lumbar curve. And then increase the arch in your lower back. Make the hip bones go toward the bottom of your mat to exaggerate your lower arch. That's the anterior pelvic tilt. Now come back to neutral and then push your lower back into the mat. Take any space out. That's your posterior pelvic tilt where your tailbone's coming up towards your knees. Okay, so those are the positions of your pelvis as we move into this particular bridge sequence. So start with your pelvis in neutral, fingers pointing up, hands pointing toward each other, palms toward each other, push into the feet, lift your spine, come into your bridge, roll the weight onto your tops of your shoulders, and you're starting with your anterior pelvic tilt here. Now come into the tippy toes, and then shift your pelvis the opposite direction so you're pointing your tailbone toward the bottom of your mat. And then very slowly roll your spine down, bring your heels down. And then take your hands onto the tops of your thighs and push them away. Push your lower back into the mat to release the spine. And then I'd like to come into a supported fish pose briefly. You have a choice. You can do this, or the other choice would be just come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So I'll show you the supported fish pose with 2 blocks. And might have to adjust the distance between the blocks. Start with bent knees. Come on down to 1 block. This block, you're going to lie on this block with the edge of your block right on the base of your shoulder blades. And then the other block comes underneath of your head. Your arms come out to the side. And if the block on your back is in the right spot, this should feel good. It's a big chest opener. Then you can straighten your legs and just lie here with an open chest, open neck. If this doesn't suit you, then you don't have to come onto the blocks. Just bring your feet together in a bound angle pose and just do that. Or you can bring your feet together while you're in your supported fish pose. This is a counter pose to the bridge, because this opens up the neck and your airways where the bridge was closing up the throat area. Okay, very slowly, we're going to roll out of this. So if you're on your blocks, maybe push into your elbows to come up, and then remove the blocks, come back down to the mat. And then hug both knees into your chest, roll around on your spine. Release the back muscles. Place your feet back onto the mat. Widen them to mat width apart. Bring your arms to a T, palms facing up. Push into your feet to shift your hips 2 inches to the left. Allow your knees to fall to the right and look to the left. So twisting poses neutralize the spine. So the bridge pose was a back bend. And this helps turn your spine to neutral, and as well as helps twisting those back muscles that we looked at earlier in the serratus anterior. Okay, head comes to center, knees come to center, hips come to center. Shift hips 2 inches to the right, let the knees fall to the left, and turn your head to the right. Keep your chest open, your shoulders flat. Slowly, head comes to center, knees come to center, hips come to center. One more hug of knees into your chest. And then bring your feet back down, extend your legs long, and come into your Shavasana. Please focus on your breath. Slow down your breathing. Release all the tension in your body. I'm going to read to you a very vivid imagery poem by Mary Oliver entitled, It Was Early. It was early, which has always been my hour to begin looking at the world. And of course, even in the darkness, to begin listening into it. Especially under the pines where the owl lives and sometimes calls out as I walk by, as he did on this morning. So many gifts. What do they mean? In the marshes where the pink light was just arriving, the mink with his bristle tail was stalking the soft-eared mice, and in the pines, the cones were heavy, each one ordained to open. Sometimes I need only to stand wherever I am to be blessed. Little mink, let me watch you. Little mice, run, run. Dear pine cone, let me hold you as you open. Please bring your awareness back to your breath and slowly deepen your breathing as you make small movements to gently wake up your body. And then please bend your knees and roll onto your right side in a fetal position to seal the practice. And now, please, very slowly, keeping a quiet mind, push up to seated. And please join me with the closing chant. Loka samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Victory to the Cat Rock Yoga class and to the inner teacher. Jai Shri Sakaru Maharaj Ki Jai. Knuckles to my forehead honors God. Knuckles to my chin honors you. Knuckles to my heart honors myself. Namaste. Jai Yogi.